And that'll be it for the news, but we have a lot more news. We'll be reviewing the newspapers, and just in case you want to send us messages, please log on to our Facebook page. We're live there, JoyNews on TV. You can also watch us live through our Twitter, not through Twitter, to My Online TV, which is our channel on YouTube, talking about all the messages you have to give us. Good morning to you. This one is coming from Mr. Kojo Mensah Oklu of Akachi. He says, my dearest good morning to the Hoga family, both home and abroad. They lost a sister, Vivian. My condolences from my family to them. And also hello to the Oklu family too. And that's Kojo Mensah Oklu from Akachi South. Good morning to you, Mr. Mensah. I hope that you're good though. And we have to look at the newspaper. Mamavi is here looking all splendid in a navy blue kind of, okay. Today the fashion is a bit different.
I'm getting ready to, I don't know, I want to be part of a certain pageant. I'm not sure which one of them. So,
and yesterday...
Miss Ghana, does Miss Ghana still exist?
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
it
okay.
does.
Yeah,
It does. Okay. And yesterday we lost Billy Graham.
Yes, we lost Billy Graham.
9 scores.
A couple of months shorts of 10 and 100 years.
Wow.
But I couldn't believe it. Like when I saw the age, I was like, wow.
He's been around for some time. He hadn't been mobile for a number of periods now.
Yeah, it's a great man.
Yeah,
very influential.
When they talk about televangelism and the charismatic movement and the new evangelical church, he's the face of the new evangelical church.
Definitely.
And you come to Benny Hinn, you come to the others. Yes.
Yeah. We all grew up with him. I mean, 99 years.
We grew up on him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Alongside Benny Hinn and the rest. Yeah.
Yeah,
we grew up on that.
And the family says that this is not a time to mourn, and appropriately so. I think he lived a very good life. It's a period to celebrate him. But you know that he was also very influential in Africa, on the African continent. He's known as, an evangelist, and impacted on many lives. Yeah, so we want to talk to our own pastors, and we're starting off with Bishop James Saad this morning on the influence of Billy Graham on the continent of Africa and in our country, Ghana. So it will be a great conversation live from the church premises. So, you know, we're going to be singing some praises this morning unto our Lord. Stay with us, where we'll have great conversations also with our AM Talk guests. But let's dig into the newspapers. We do not have the daily graphic yet, so we're just going to go straight into the Ghanaian Times newspaper. And Roland, you have the Times.
I have the Ghanaian Times. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have ECOWAS single currency by 2020. Someone will say, we've heard this before. Leaders renew commitment in Accra. That's on page 16 of the paper. And then we also have malaria deaths reduced by some 50%. That's the National Malaria Control Program. And then we have 19.3 Ghana cedi case, million Ghana cedi case. Supreme Court rules in favor of SIC. Okay, and then we have man charged with bigamy. The story is on page 3. Of all stories I have to review, let me go to page 17. And it says that malaria deaths in the country decreased from 1,264 in 2016 to 603 in 2017, representing a 50% reduction, according to data from the National Malaria Control Program. That's a good one. And then we have 19.3 Ghana cedi, million Ghana cedi case. Supreme Court rules in favor of SIC. You have a picture there of Mr. Stephen Odro, is the MD for SIC Insurance. And we know that in November 2013, Ivory Finance Company Limited sued SIC to recover a guaranteed bond amount of some 19.3 million Ghana cedis issued in favor of ITIL Construct, a construction firm, and in a bizarre twist, Ivory Finance obtained a consent judgment which SIC believed was procured fraudulently, for which SIC dismissed the then managing director, Doris Wonkani. Well, the insurance giant has since been seeking for the consent judgment to be set aside, and its alleged case of fraud in the acquisition of a consent judgment to be heard on its merit, and consequently we know what the outcome has been. We'll go to page 3. It says a man who allegedly abandoned his wedded wife and married another woman was arraigned before an Accra Circuit Court on Tuesday, February 20, 2018 for bigamy. And we're told that the gentleman married one Madame Dede Gaba, a 36-year-old IT consultant, on February 5, 2011. Under the Marriage Ordinance Cap 127 at the International Central Gospel Church, Accra. That's where they did the marriage, with the marriage certificate number ICGC 2011.
Like, we'll remember the certificate number.
And the AMA number, all there, and that they already had children. However, the accused left his wife and married one Reverend Mina Obeng, who is the General Overseer of Come to Jesus Ministry, one of the corporate churches in Ghana, in her family house at Ikuapem Ikropong in the Eastern region, all under customary marriage, which was blessed by prophetess Mrs. Elizabeth Ukraobing of Jehovah Rapha Church, Suhum Eastern region, church attended by our lead director, Patrick Gomez. And the court presided, etc., etc. It goes on now. So you have to grab a copy of the Ghanaian Times. Let's go to the back page. Congress sets March 2 for league start, and then we have Ghana to participate in 12 disciplines at the 2018 Commonwealth Games. But we also have Adriana advanced, Kotoko eliminated. I don't know. Nobody was surprised by Kotoko's elimination.
They've been really poor. They've been really poor. I don't know. How can they pick themselves up? You are a Kotoko person. Yeah, I am not. So, I really don't know how.
Yeah,
but I know that they've been performing rather very poorly these days. So, not a shocker.
Well, they have 4 penalty shots or call-outs for them in the first leg in Accra. Well, surprising. And,
let's do the Daily Guide, Roland's Daily Guide newspaper, and front page of the paper this morning. EC in disarray. Charlotte Osei apparently has been given some ultimatum. We'll dig into the paper to figure out exactly what this ultimatum is and what it means. ECOWAS currency takes off 2020. We've had it all. It's all coming back. Like it's almost like 20 years on, then we hear another 20 years. Robbers attack Forex Bureau. SIC Insurance wins case, and YEA breaks Zoom Lion monopoly. They say they're going to open up the bid so other companies can take part in the bidding process. We'll touch on a bit of the details in the paper, but let's start off page 3 in the Daily Guide newspaper. It says the embattled chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Charlotte Osei, has been accused of running, quotes, a one-man show, failing to carry along other commissioners. The EC boss is said to have refused to hold meetings with other 6 commissioners to discuss the way forward for the independent electoral body. And according to information available to Daily Guide, the commissioners have not held a single meeting for about a year, in clear breach of the EC Act 1993, and activities at the state institution appear to have been put on hold currently. Okay, so there's a breakdown: no meeting, constitutional breach, mandatory provision, so commissioner demand notice. So there's a memo. I am by this memo demanding that you call a commission meeting immediately to enable the commission to carry out functions. So that is a meeting supposedly that's been called, or the notice by Ebenezer Agrifin, who's written a strongly worded memo to the chairperson asking her to arrange a meeting with immediate effect to enable the commission to carry out its function. So it's more of internal issues within the Electoral Commission. You can read all about it. It's all on page 3 in the Daily Guide newspaper. Story by William Yao Owusu. And then the bit about SIC winning a certain case. It says the Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision yesterday, upheld SIC State Insurance Company's appeal against Ivory Finance Company Limited regarding a credit guarantee case which has been in court over the last 5 years. So the highest court of the land made orders remitting the substantive matter of fraud to be heard on its merit by the High Court. Background of this particular court case is also in the paper. Let's do Which one? Let's talk about. So Billy Graham dies at 99. Almost all the papers covering that story as well. And then there's a piece when Martin Amidu suddenly became a saint. You might want to read that. It's by James Kofi Annan. It's also in the paper. A bit about the YEA breaking this monopoly that was carried largely by a lot of media houses yesterday. One of the major talking points. It says the main waste services provider under the National Youth Employment Agency, Zoomlion Ghana Limited, has been accused of fleecing sanitation workers. So the company, which is part of the Jospon Group, is said to be paying beneficiaries under the sanitation module program 100 Ghana cedis and pockets 400 Ghana cedis as management fee. So the new administration of YEA, addressing the media in Accra yesterday, described the development as, quote, unfair. This has accordingly forced the YEA to review its activities with interested service providers, apparently breaking the monopoly of Zoomlion as manager of the module. So you can read all about what the Chief Executive Officer, Justin Kondia, of the YEA said to the media yesterday, and what this means, how they're going to open up, which companies will be interested in bidding, and will the business be taken totally from Zoomlion? I guess we will know that in the coming days. Law students want remarking. That story also here. And then this one about robbers attacking the Forex Bureau says 4 masked armed robbers last Tuesday attacked Mentasin Forex Bureau at Community 1 in Tema in broad daylight and made away with money. The suspects were said to have held the operators of the Forex Bureau hostage amidst firing of gunshots before robbing them of both local and foreign currencies in an operation which lasted less than 30 minutes. Albeit police are yet to arrest any suspect in connection with the robbery. They have impounded a white Toyota Corolla with registration number GR 420817 and retrieved a magazine loaded with 1 live 9mm ammunition and additional vehicle number plates registered GR 261917. There's confirmation of this and all the details here in the Daily Guide. Let's look at the center spread, News 1 of the Daily Guide newspaper. And I'm doing this on behalf of Roland Walker. Oh, Roland, you should do the center spread.
No, continue.
So Karima Agia slams media over senseless news. You would have to read to figure out what she means by senseless news. Nigeria's child comedian Emanuela lands Disney movie role. And then Lupita Nyong'o commands Michael B. Jordan to push up. So these two, there are rumors that they may be in love, and there's a love thing happening. So I don't know if
as in they are dating?
As in they're dating, or they may be in love, something like that. So, you know, yeah. There's actually a certain video. I haven't seen it, but I've seen photos of that. Where I think there was a bet and Michael lost, so Lupita asked him to do a push-up, something like that. And they say, if you look at the way that, you know, they were behaving and things, you know, in Hollywood,
So they have the video.
Oh, we do have the video? All right.
Patrick Gomez loves Hollywood.
I beg, we want to see.
Has been performing BNI on the video. So we'll see that video. Lupita, what did he say? Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
Okay, and Michael B. Jordan, the main actor for Creed. I'm told that after Black Panther, he's preparing for Creed 2.
Is Lupita in
Black
Creed
Panther?
as well? Because I know that they were both in Black. Okay. Okay, so this will be at a... Patrick, are you playing? Is there a sound to this?
Shot back. No dessert until you come correct. Hashtag you know you want this, and hashtag you ain't ready.
And then we'll see about the rest.
Oh, goodness.
Stay down.
She can do a chaturanga push-up.
Got this thing called on-site push-up, so you can bet on anything. You can bet on throwing, you know, a cup into the trash can and whether I'm gonna make it or not. And if you lose, they can give them out. They can give out push-ups whenever they want. I mean, they can call you at 4 o'clock in the morning and you got to get out of bed and do a push-up. So it doesn't matter where. She is ruthless. Okay. I'm not gonna go into the specific bet, but I lost. I lost that one.
He's a cute guy.
Yeah.
Lupita is
it's very handsome.
Yeah, Lupita is she's got it. So, you know, they can be a nice couple.
Yeah.
It's just like Hollywood, like their relationships is just like the movies. They come and go, shim.
Part 1, part 2. Creed 1, Creed 2. So this is Creed 1.
Yeah.
To go right now, no.
Okay.
Yesterday we're talking about Cathy Holmes and our man.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx, man.
Yeah.
All
AKA Mr. Ray. So that's it for the Daily Guide newspaper. That's it for the center spread.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have to do the Daily Dispatch newspaper. It continues serialization of issues of accidents. And apparently, just in 2017, for many of you who don't work in the sector, I do, so I know. 12,843 accidents occurred in Ghana. Greater Accra, Ashanti, and Eastern, they account for more because you get to find the most or the best of the more traveled roads. And in Ghana, it's ironical. The more traveled the road is, the more the accidents. So the motorway is a first-class road. You have more accidents, and so the better the road is done, the more you record accidents on the road. I don't know whether if that's a trend across the world. And they account for 75% of the accidents. And then apparently, Mama V, let me tell you, cockroach milk can be a good source of food supplement.
Which one is cockroach milk?
You can get milk from cockroach. I mean, that's what it means. You don't know, eh?
No, I
cockroach.
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Cockroach.
I would never drink that unless I didn't know it was cockroach milk.
This is bad. It's a sad thing that you don't know. All right.
It can be good source of what? Food supplements.
Yeah. So instead of going, listen.
I beg, I'll do the traditional supplement. No.
Yeah. All right.
All right, from the Dispatch, let's do some business newspapers. We'll do the Business Finder and the Business and Financial Times. First, the Business Finder. Front page of the Business Finder. Talos new rig heads to 10 fields to commence drilling of wells. So story says that Talo Ghana says it has commenced the deployment of equipment to resume drilling of wells at the Trinibua and Yura and Tome offshore oil fields. And then there's a background to this. I would leave that for you to read for yourself. YEA overhaul sanitation module invites others to bid. That's almost like one of our biggest local stories in Ghana. It's also on the front page of the Business Finder newspaper. And then let's move on from the Business Finder. Let's pay attention to the Business and Financial Times. Front page of the BNFT, exports under AGWA hit $300 million. More value added products needed, according to the story. And courier operators without license to face prosecution. E-bills pay can help reduce corruption at public institutions. The story says that the use of e-bills pay in public institutions can reduce the human interface and help bring down corruption. E-bills pay is an electronic payment system that enables large corporate institutions to receive payment via the internet or mobile applications. And this bit about AGWA. Ghana can build on its good performance under the African Growth and Opportunity Act AGWA program by focusing more on value addition to its export commodities like cocoa and shea butter and export to the U.S. market. I think yesterday we had a bit of a conversation on the fact that we are carrying our things, even though we can get a lot of benefits from them down here, we're carrying them raw, just raw, to other countries who are making a lot more use of what we send them. So you can read all about it in the Business and Financial Times newspaper on the back page. AngloGold's Obuasi mine bounces back with $500 million investments. Moves into contracts mining with 21 years life of the mine. Between 2,000 and 2,500 or 2,000 and 2,500 to be employed. Tax concession agreement and development agreement awaiting parliamentary approval. Mine production for 10 years, average 350,000. Okay, so this is, just like a breakdown of the main story. Please read the details on the back page of the paper. That's it for the Business and Financial Times newspaper. We'll turn attention online. We'll start with myjoyonline.com.
So quickly, let's go to myjoyonline.com, and Mama, this is for you.
Why is it for me? More blood in quotes. National Blood Service appeals for donors.
Have you ever donated before?
No, I told you. I kind of tend to have
You don't like blood.
I am no.
You have a phobia?
No.
Anemic?
Yes, anemic. So
okay.
and I think these past couple of days I've been feeling a bit of dizziness. So
Me too.
It won't be a good time.
I think I can collapse here now.
No. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
But listen, people wait.
That's a nice way of not doing the show for today.
People wait for exercises to donate. So on Val's Day, for instance, you would see that people are organizing programs and encouraging others to donate. That's not the kind of culture that we want. We want people to freely walk into any facility on any ordinary day and say that I want to donate some blood, at least a pint of blood. That's the only way we can have a stronger blood bank, really. And you never know the next person who might need your blood. It could be me, it could be Roland, it could be anybody else.
Sure.
All right, Accra courts will see a remarkable difference on quotes by June. Criticized sanitation minister assures. So despite criticisms that he's failing at his job to keep the country clean, sanitation minister Kofi Ada is confident of proving his detractors wrong. Did he just give a deadline of June? We're in February, March, April, May, June. All right, we'll be tracking. FPSOs act as buffer for marine protection, according to Fisheries Director, Western Regional Director of Fisheries Commission, Mr. Alex Saba, has said that the FPSOs on the high seas are beneficial in the conservation of aquatic life. Details of that on myjoyonline.com. You can always touch base. Attack our prophecies and the nation will be doomed. This is Prophet Nigel suggesting one of the prophets known to have predicted the death of dancehall artist Ebony Rains has kicked against what he says are attempts to silence prophets in Ghana. All right, let's move on. There's a video of newlyweds turned rescuers after bridesmaids fell in water. It will be good to see. It's a video. Maybe we can play it to you sometime. Let's move on. Valerie Sawyer writes, bird of the nights. Vilified in death, Professor Mills stands taller than the vilifier. Lied about even in death, Professor Mills stands higher than the liar. It's like a beautiful poem. You can read about it, except that I am not sure that what this is targeted at or who it is targeted at. That person can reply. This is so painful. He can't give a response. Because guess what? He will soon be sworn in as the special prosecutor. So you can read about. I haven't read fully what Valerie Sawyer has to say, but I hear it's a good piece. So we all can read. If you're a student of literature, if you loved it, then you love this one. YA breaks Zoom Lion monopoly, calls for more companies to apply for sanitation module. And in June 2018, the contract with Zoom Lion will come to an end. That's where we're told that is going to be opened up, and let's see other companies also put in a bid and who gets it in the end. Opposition to GLC mounts as MPs collect signatures to throw out LI. And in our AM news, we brought you a lot more details with some of the MPs speaking to Joseph Opoku Gakpo, our parliamentary correspondent. Shocked courts Inu Safuseni urges probe into 81% mass bar exams failure. And then the story about Prophet Nigel suggesting that attack on prophecies and or if we attack their prophecies, the nation will be doomed. That's also here on myjoyonline.com. Only God has power to take life. Kufuor against death sentence. And then law student on warpath with authorities over mass bar exams failure. We've got a lot more other stories on myjoyonline.com, including videos. Yeah. And then Kofi Ada on Upfront. You can catch up on myjoyonline.com. City FM, Roland?
So we go to City FM. It has on the page there, Ghana drops to 81 in 2017 Corruption Perception Index. So we also have there, law student to petition Parliament, legal counsel over mass failure. And then we have the story, why year to dump Zoom Lion for other sanitation service providers. And let's move on. Minority MPs want to Foriata Sermon over Ghana's debt stock. But interesting. Martin Amidu writes, my parting thoughts as citizen vigilante. More on the training.
Oh, he's writing?
Yeah, last one. Last wine.
Wait. But did this come after Valerie?
Well, after appearing before the committee.
He was too quick to write. I guess he should have just waited just a little bit. You know, we love the back and forth with Valerie. It's nice.
So we have Parliament must investigate mass law school failure. So we have other stories there.
Midwife found dead in her room in Kumasi. That's sad. That's also another story there. All right.
This is side.
It is. All right, let's pay attention to the BBC now. On the BBC, girls rescued after militant attacks. Some of the 100 girls thought to have been abducted in Nigeria have been found, according to officials. Now, this is the thing. You know, on Monday, there was news that Boko Haram, some militant, had entered a town. I think it's called Dakchi, is in Yobo State in Nigeria. And then initially, they said, they didn't take. So the girls in this particular boarding school got hints, plus the teachers, that these bad guys had come around. So they all escaped. But later on, I think on Tuesday, we'll get to know that, yes, some girls were taken, apparently. And it's now back and forth. So if girls were taken, just like the Chibok girls, we don't know exactly how many girls were taken.
How many so-called have been rescued?
Exactly. So it's still very much unclear, and I guess that's why you'd find girls rescued in quotes on this with this story on the BBC. So that's where we are with this matter. Hopefully, in the coming hours, the military in Nigeria will make it clear if this abduction is real and who's been taking and stuff like that. But I guess that the media would also be speaking to families whose children have not been accounted for, and that will also bring a lot more clarity to this matter. But this is coming after news that Boko Haram was almost getting defeated, in Nigeria. But, once in a while, they still make a move, either with one bombing or the other. And then now a similar thing with the Chibok girls happening again just on Monday. It's really sad. Let's quickly run through other headlines. Gold worth $1 million seized at Nairobi airport. Ria says he inherited a broke country. That's an all too familiar phrase. Line. Yeah, for
when they
all
come from
leaders.
Opposition. When they come from opposition to assume power.
Yeah, for all leaders.
You always inherit a
It's not
broke
just
them.
limited to Africa. Yeah, I don't know about the European countries. Well, I know that like America would say it.
No.
America
Trump
would say, well, not necessarily like a broke economy, but they would tell you how everything was so wrong under the previous administration. First, Eritrean asylum seekers jailed under Israel's deportation plan. The Eritreans refused to be deported to Rwanda. Wild animals killed 94 in Mozambique. That's just highlights of this. But remember that Israel served notice for those who are living in their country illegally to voluntarily you know, leave, and they were going to give a certain amount of money. But these Eritreans, see, they are not taking them back to Eritrea because it's not safe for them. So there's a deal with some other countries for them to keep them. And these people say, we won't get good treatment if we went to Rwanda or any other place, so we won't go. So some of them are in detention. And so the conversation continues there. SA policemen shoot dead, execution style. Armed robbers storm a police station, shoot dead 5 officers and a soldier, and steal weapons. That's like a movie, really. Wow. And
crime is big in South Africa.
Yeah, it is. Nigeria plane crash for faulty door airline. Boeing Mass Morgan Tsvangirai's burial. You know, he was buried on Tuesday. Yeah. Boy in suitcase. Father escapes jail term. One of those weird, quirky stories, if you like.
I've seen one before. One of the stories on one of the European networks. I think some 2 or 3 years ago. The gentleman was hidden in car bonnets. Yeah, not a boot, car bonnet, where the engine is. Wow. Yeah. He survived? Yeah, I think they created some space. Hey. And, you know, they crossed from the peninsula into Spain also.
We want to end with some Trump news. You know that this Florida shooting, some of the parents and the people involved in there met the president. He gave them audience. He wanted to listen to them. And yes, some of them did speak. We want to hear one parent who said he was really, really pissed.
This shouldn't happen. We go to the airport. I can't get on a plane with a bottled water, but we leave it. Some animal could walk into a school and shoot our children. It's just not right, and we need to come together as a country and work on what's important. And Mr. President, we're going to fix it, because I'm going to fix it. I'm not going to rest. It doesn't make sense. Fix it. It should have been one school shooting, and we should have fixed it. And I'm pissed, because my daughter I'm not going to see again. She's not here. She's not here. She's in North Lauderdale at whatever it is, King David Cemetery. That's where I go to see my kid now. And it stops. We all work together and come up with the right idea, and it's school safety.
It feels that there should be an arm bank in a school.
And the president kind of sort of agreed, even though he didn't make the proposal. But you know, there are a lot of anti-Trump whatever.
But why do you have an arm bank?
So they're thinking of arming teachers.
Yeah.
Teachers and schools. I'm like,
not only that.
Really?
Have a place. You know, sometimes when you watch, sometimes they have a place where they keep the magazine, they keep the ammunition, so you can just come and take.
What?
Then you just shoot.
It's sad, really.
America
it's really sad. Yesterday we shared with you how
I think I need to.
One organization is so powerful, has a hold particularly on the Republicans because they kind of pushed a lot of money into Donald Trump's campaign, and how people really feel that, you know, he will not succumb to calls for there to be more restrictions and things like that. But that's America for you. So this is our Ghana. Let's talk about our country. That's it for the review and what we brought to you from the outside world. We will bring you sports in a bit. And then we'll follow through with AM Talk. We've got Ms. Ejako and Neelanti van der Poy, our AM Talk guest this morning. And then off I go to meet Bishop James Sarr for a very good conversation and a prayer. And then I'll come back. Yeah, I'll come back here. We'll talk about Billy Graham and his influence on the continent.
Right. So we're taking a break. When we come back, Benedict also will be here with the latest sports stories.